This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And this is For The Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast with over 40 years of playing PlayStation 8, plus years in that games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. Or if you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/popculturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. Might be something there that interests you.
If you support us on Patreon, you can watch us record this show live, either Saturday or Sunday, depending on the time. It's always variable, man. But you can now also listen to us record Young and the Wrestlers live as well on Thursday night. That's part now newly added to Patreon. If you want to show this Life of PopCulturists on your body, popculturists.com/shop. You can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. And of course, we are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepopculturists. And while you're done listening to some PlayStation podcasts, why don't you go check out our wrestling show? Why not? Funsies. Hey, big man.
Good.
Yeah. So we're recording a good 30 hours later than we normally do.
Yeah.
Right on the top of a Saturday, we're all high energy and we're buzzed, we're ready to go.
Yeah, you still got the Sunday to come.
Yeah, mid-Sunday Arvo is like, fuck, flat, man.
It's not good, man. It's not good. I'd rather be anywhere else. Not really, it's fine.
So not really.
I'm just tired and grumpy.
How's you been, man? How was your weekend anyway before coming here today?
Great.
Oh, this chair's garbage, by the way, so I'm going to probably just... And then I have to come back up at some point.
Get on my level.
Yeah, I have to get down. Oh, no,
Get on my level. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Went to the karaoke Friday night.
Yeah, oh, is this the one that your dad goes to?
Yeah, it was the finals.
Hey!
I'm still tired. I was up until 11 o'clock.
Fuck, dude.
I'm still
on
fucked.
A Friday?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm still tired.
Who won, though?
I don't know. I left before it finished.
was there's that guy that you were talking about last time you went, the one that everyone loved, at Hiko.
The old fella?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dressed up in a jester suit and sang a song about a fool that I didn't know and no one knew, which was a bit of a letdown, actually.
Oh. So no,
yeah, he's all like dressed up and you're like, oh, here we go. Yeah.
But no one knew the song, so it kind of...
Yeah, kind of. But then he sang Adele, which apparently everyone got on with.
Okay. Was it good Adele, though?
Yeah, he sang it before, though.
Oh.
Like in a previous week. It's fine. It's good. It's good.
It's
good fun.
Go with what you know.
Okay, it's good fun to watch. And, you know, the singing gets notably worse as the night goes on. You know.
The crowd gets more into it.
But the crowd gets more into it. So, you know, it's good times.
Yeah. You going to get up there?
No.
Not ever?
Nope. Probably not.
Speaking of music, though, we had a guy come into our workplace to sort of show interest in working there in some capacity, in some form. Apparently, he was also a local music man back in your days.
Oh.
Around your
my scene.
Yeah, I forgot what they were called. What was your band called?
Silhouette.
I thought it was Masquerade, but wasn't that the name of the EP?
Thought of what? A Masquerade.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Le Grand Macabre.
That was close.
Which
not,
is like...
Not even a little bit.
It's like the Masquerade in French or something. I fucking know.
Yeah, so he mentioned that, you know, he's been, you know, it was part of the Geelong metal scene, like, you know, 10, 15 years ago. He did. I don't remember what it was.
Red Shore, 1 Year Past.
No.
Lamort.
That sounds familiar. He used to work pop. He used to work pop culture.
I appreciate how much information you've brought me today. Hey, some guy played music around the same time as you. Cool.
No,
what's his name? I don't know. What band was he in? I don't know.
It was funny because he mentioned that they used to work. He used to be in part of the metal scene around that point. He goes, it was pretty tiny, so I still know everyone about him. I got a buddy of mine named Josh. He used to play bass player for a band. Was it you play bass? Didn't you?
No.
Pianos?
Guitar and keyboards.
Yeah, well, I know. I said he played music he played something in there. It was a short dude, and it was like a goth thing. We went, oh yeah, where the fuck did I call? I said Masquerade again. Silhouette. Oh yeah, Silhouette. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That sounds about right. So you're infamous. You know you
I'm
were.
still mildly infamous.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll see someone who's like, hey, it's pretty cool.
Like, what happened to your hair? Like, shut up.
I look more metal now anyway.
You do look more metal now. Much more metal. Have you done
There's
anything?
a guy at the music at Oxygen in town when I bought my daughter a guitar.
Yeah.
For
He's like, no way, man. Are you Josh from Silhouette?
no, not quite. But he used to watch me. Well, I watched the band way back when. It's fun. It's good times.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that infamous thing. I like that.
Just imagine where we could be today if we stuck with it. Playing in Melbourne instead of Geelong.
You ever thought about doing a reunion tour?
Nah. I'm out of the game, man. It's been far too long.
I think it'd be fun.
That'd be fun, yeah. But I don't think any of us see each other anymore. So
Yeah, it's good to go. That's nothing to do with games. You playing a game this week?
no,
All right, moving on. Me either.
but actually nothing.
Yeah, really? What have you been doing instead? Just hanging out?
Yeah, it's just been a busy week. I've started rewatching Game of Thrones, just in my quiet time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those first seasons are packed. So much happens. So much more than I remembered happening. Like
Yeah.
stuff that I thought was about season 3 is like episode 5 of season 1.
Yeah, so, we watched the Battle of Winterfell. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I haven't played much games this week apart from Days Gone, really.
It was good.
Yeah, no,
thought it was good.
It was fine.
It was like it's dark. The episode's called The Long Night.
There was some questionable shit in there. Overall, I enjoyed it. The really only downside that we faced, because we were streaming it from Foxtel, the stream was kind of iffy. Like, we have great internet here, so it's not an internet concern, and that was the issue. The issue wasn't the darkness; it was just the lack of quality. Because when anything's too dark and you're trying to get shades of black, you get that artifacting, you get that those like pixelated look. So when they're trying to show this grand, like this darkness, and always sees different fucking squares, you can't differentiate what's what.
That's not their fault. Like the showrunner's fault.
No, I have no issue with Game of Thrones. This is totally a Foxtel problem. This is 100% a Foxtel
people did, though.
problem. Oh no, I yelled directly at Foxtel.
Like, everyone lived. Well, like most.
Oh yeah,
everyone
spoilers.
lived.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
It's like, yeah, they did. Subverting expectations, because the week before everyone was like, oh, so sad. This story's over. They're gonna die. Oh, I just can't. They're alive. Fuck you. It's like, but you didn't want it.
No, I
Because
thought
we're getting to the end of the series. I think just everyone's just getting real nitpicky with this shit now.
I was really expecting there to be more death. Am I devastated that there's less death? No, not at
But
all.
if there was so much, I don't think it'd have much meaning as well. The few that we got, I thought, were good and made sense.
Yeah, it's big spoilers. My only issue, but it was still cool, how the Night King is just dead now.
Well, that was the whole thing. That was
Yeah, but like it's this 7 seasons of build up, and this guy's no fucking around.
Yeah.
He's dead now.
But in that season 7, that 7 seasons of build up was trying to figure out how to defeat him as well.
Yeah.
You know, and they did. They did their research and they found out all this information. And Sam found out Dragonglass kills them. First man to kill a White Walker in thousands of years, Mr. Tarly.
I'm glad he's fucked.
I thought it was fine. Although it does feel, now that we're going from the Night King to Cersei, it feels like a bit of a downgrade.
That's the point I'm making. Like, I thought it was going to end with, like... granted, it is ending as it should. Like, Game of Thrones is always being a political drama. So it is finishing on that political drama.
It hasn't been political for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Like, watching the first few seasons, I'm up to nearly finished season 2. It's a very different show back then. Still good.
Well, I think that's the problem. Like, now that they had to switch out of what George R.R. Martin was planning or using his source material, they've been like, well, let's make.
They've got to wrap it up.
Yeah,
they've got to wrap it up, and that's okay.
Yeah,
but it makes sense in the context of the story, because now
does.
when they're going to fight Cersei after the Night King, they don't have this huge army anymore. That's where the struggle is going to come from.
but saying that though, Cersei was like, "What? There's a giant dead problem. That's cool. Wins."
That makes sense for her character.
Yeah, but I just love the idea of what'd you do? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. That's her long con. She knows what's up.
We did also. Paris and I were speculating that Hodor would rock up, or they would use all previously deceased characters. So as they're like ready, the lines are drawn. Like, let's fucking party, and then like 6 people walk forward. and it's like
the Night King fucking with
it's the
them,
Night
as
King
they know.
fucking with them. So there's like Hodor, there's the old Starks. It's like everyone that you think it would be, and you're like,
Motherfucker.
so they have to get through them before they then get through the waves, or then the wave comes through them, and then they get lost in the shuffle.
The wave was great though.
That was very cool.
It was like a tsunami. It's good.
That's enough Game of Thrones though. But yeah, no, like I've not played much this week apart from a little bit more Days Gone. Still enjoying it. It's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game's certainly not horrendous. I am having some audio problems here and there that I've never found before. There has been like 2 patch updates since. Apparently a lot of people are experiencing crashes under the new patches. Not me personally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of the game.
It's not bad though.
It's certainly not bad. It is certainly not a bad game.
It's a solid 7 out of 10, which we'll get to later.
But now it's time for the news. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation. In a section we call Inform the Players.
Number 1, Borderlands 3's Claptrap, as many fans noticed during the week's gameplay reveal, has a new voice, and both Gearbox and the original voice actor have weighed in on why that is. The original voice actor for Claptrap, David Eddings, revealed on Twitter that he isn't reprising his role in Borderlands 3. Quote, "No, for the first time, I insisted on getting paid for my performance, and all of a sudden they couldn't afford me. Now, I'm not telling them how to run their business, but maybe next time they should just put the $12 million payment from 2K in the Gearbox bank instead. Just saying." It's also said Borderlands 3's campaign will be about 30 hours.
Yep.
And it won't, but will have microtransactions.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have microtransactions.
It has
Only cosmetic ones.
It has small purchasable content, otherwise known as microtransactions.
Yeah. No, I think old what's it? Red Dead Randy Pitchford. I think for him, there's the problem with the microtransaction. Everyone's associating microtransaction with loot boxes, and like stepping away that the term microtransaction is just the term for a small purchase within a video game.
Yeah.
Like it's not exclusive to loot boxes, not exclusive to pay to win things. Like everything that you buy that is a small dollar purchase
Is a
microtransaction.
Yeah.
Whether it be a shirt, a gun, or a bomb that kills everyone.
I don't care that it has costumes.
I don't give a fuck. It's a prominently single player game. So, sure.
Whatever.
Like cosmetics, it's that weird line. Cosmetics I never gave a shit about. But I'm bored. I'm so bored of hearing about microtransactions.
That's what they want.
That's what they want.
That's what they want.
Yeah, because the second that we stop caring, they'll be like, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
just,
care. I don't care.
yeah.
It's
Plus,
fine.
it's the perfect game for that sort of that purchasable system.
So when David
this is a bit
Eddings
fucked.
was voicing Claptrap, he was employed at Gearbox. So on top of his normal role, he'd go do the voice work for Claptrap and all that. All kind of like, it's a different role, but you're still getting paid under salary and all of that. Now he's not working there and they want him to come back. They didn't want to pay him.
The balls of them going, hey, do you want to come back? You gonna pay me?
Do you want to reprise your now iconic role in video gaming? And we're not going to give you diddly squat.
Saying that though, like you could easily voice manipulate that to sound the same. Like, have you ever watched the behind the
It
scenes?
sounds
of South
pretty
Park?
close. It sounds pretty close now.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the behind the scenes of South Park when they do their recording? Like Cartman's mom isn't a woman; it's Trey Parker, and they just tweak it to make it sound like a woman.
Even Cartman doesn't sound like Cartman.
No, Cartman is just a slightly upper voice, and then they fuck with it so heavily that it becomes a different voice.
Yeah, no, they'll be fine. The new voice is fine. Yeah. I didn't actually recognise at the time that it wasn't the original Claptrap. Yeah, but that's just Borderlands stuff. 30 hours is pretty good.
Yes, that's if you beeline it, so you
Yeah.
don't go into your side missions or anything. Fine by me, not too much of a concern.
I imagine I'll get 50-ish out of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Ish.
I'll give it a go.
Maybe.
Depends how I'm feeling.
I didn't
towards that
finish
time of
number
year.
2.
You didn't?
I finished number 1. Never got to the end of number 2.
I don't think I finished any of them. Pretty confident I haven't
there's
finished any of them.
Yeah, the pre-sequel was really just not great. Did finish Tales from the Borderlands though, which is now canon in the Borderlands universe.
Oh, how's that confirmed?
Well, the characters
Are in
from
3?
Tales from Borderlands are in 3.
Yeah.
And Tales is the best Telltale game ever released, and I'll die by that. That's the hill I'll die on.
I think you're fine.
That's good. Number 2, Ubisoft is teasing a Ghost Recon announcement by unveiling ScalCon, a fictional convention related to Skull Technology, a corporation heavily associated with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. The official Skull Technology website is now promoting ScalCon, advertised May 9th, 2019 event at 11:30 a.m. PT. What this announcement will be is still unknown, but many fans, including those on Reddit, are hoping for something related to Ghost Recon Wildlands 2. The fictional Skal is known for creating technology for both military and civilian uses, notably drone and camouflage tech. Though a sequel to Wildlands is certainly possible, Ubisoft announced on Tuesday that the original Wildlands, which was released just over 2 years ago, would receive new DLC involving a character played by Punisher actor John Bernthal.
See, I was
He looks dope in that game.
He does look dope. I saw the picture.
dope.
I was like, Saying that though, I was like, isn't this game like 2 years old? And yeah, there
is
you go,
2 years old.
And it's still being supported. That's fucking brilliant.
Ubisoft, I don't think, have dropped off any of their games.
Well, not for the last, like...
Rainbow Six
Siege is still going. For Honor is still going. And For Honor, with this weekend being May the 4th, had lightsabers.
Yeah. I saw some
fucking
clips, pretty cool.
Brilliant.
Ubisoft are doing very good at long-term support for their games.
Yeah, I love it.
And not only just long-term support, but really turning them around. Because For Honor launched and everyone was like, oh.
Well, we reviewed it.
Siege launched and everyone was like, and now they're still some of the most played games today.
Yeah, like we reviewed For Honor and we were pretty blur on it. Like it was fine, but we weren't thinking it was going to have this long tail. And 2 years later,
they're really good at doing that. I originally played Wildlands with you. We were so graciously given codes, lots of codes. I think
like a handful of them.
4 gold edition codes. I think we were given way back when. Played it with you for a little bit, and then I was like, eh. But then Alex and I were playing it for a bit last year, and it was fucking good, man.
Yeah, and those updates have been pretty
It's very,
solid.
very good. And like the Predator stuff and all of that.
I've always considered going back to it.
I look at it every now and then. I'm like, oh, I could do that again.
Yeah.
Because
for me, it's just like, just an easy download.
And you weren't just like raining in guns. Like there were locations on the map that you had to find new weapons. You couldn't switch between 50 different ones.
Yeah, like a lot of it was like some of the early things that shaped the Division, but in a jungle.
Yeah. A very big jungle. Actually, I think that's what got me down on it. Travel time.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
Travel time.
But once you get a heli, you're just like...
Yeah.
No
so as for what this could be, don't know.
I think
could be a Wildlands 2, but if they're still supporting it, I don't think there's a need to do a sequel for
it.
But unless they fundamentally want to change, like
the setting, I suppose,
behind the scenes stuff that they can't do. While it's live.
I guess it's the same reason with the Division, right? The Division was so sound by the end of it, apparently, from all four, like from all like I didn't play it, so I'm going by hearsay here. But apparently, it was by the end of Division 1, it was so tight that the Division 2 was almost not unnecessary, but it's like okay, but having them want to completely change the location made it the second one possible.
Yeah, and maybe that's what they'll do with the Wildlands 2. Maybe it'll be a similar game, but not called Wildlands. It'll be, you couldn't really put it in a city because that's a Division. I don't know. But whatever it is, you can probably rest easy knowing it'll be supported for a few years.
Yeah, and that's certainly a positive as well.
Number 3, Anthem is meant to have a 10-year...
Speaking of not being supported...
Anthem, believe it or not, is meant to have a 10-year life cycle of post-launch content, but in light of the game's systematic problems, BioWare's lack of communication, and a dwindling player base, apparently, like, queuing for stuff just takes ages now. The ambitious post-launch schedule is looking less and less likely, especially in light of recent news about the game's shifting development team. In recent weeks, 3 key members of Anthem's lead development team have departed from work on the project, including executive producer, lead producer, and lead director. The first 2 are going to Dragon Age, and the last one is coming back later following a personal sabbatical. Oh boy. I got more. According to a recent tweet from one of those devs, I should have read their names, but I didn't. The reason behind the scenes reshuffle seems to be Dragon Age shaped, as BioWare places a majority of its focus on getting Dragon Age 4 out of the door. Following several reported reboots of the RPG sequel. On Twitter, Anthem Live service head Chad Robertson affirmed that he and Ben Irving, who are leading the game nowadays, are 100% committed to Anthem.
All right. So first off, that queuing thing. So apparently, because neither you or I have played it since beta, that in the grind and the loot drop versus grind ratio is so poor that people are willing to run the strongholds or whatever at lower difficulties because going hard gives you no better loot.
The extra time involved. Apparently they added a fight in, or there's a fight on the test. There's a new boss or something where the actual boss encounter itself is like 90 minutes and you just get normal chest rewards.
Yeah.
Not
so like
for me.
there's no incentive to play those higher levels. So anyone tries to go higher, no one's there to play with them.
You could look at Division 2 as a similar thing though, like playing, like you get a little bit more loot for doing it on high difficulty, but that high difficulty let's say mission on challenging takes you 20 minutes and you get 4-5 pieces of exotic loot at the end or high end loot. Then you do it on heroic and it takes twice as long, but you only get 6 pieces. Well, you could have run the challenging version twice and gotten 8 total pieces. You know what I mean?
Saying that though, but I actually have more fun changing the level.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's
Makes
not,
it more it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, it makes me think more tactically.
Because in the Division 2, the gameplay is tactical, where you have to keep tabs on all the enemies and all that, and it's not just... Sure, there's bullet sponges, but it's not just a boss standing there for 20 minutes going, ugh, and you're just like...
Well, 'cause, yeah, the subtle thing that we've mentioned like 1,000 times was like the armor spots. Like, although they are bullet sponging, you knock one armor off, like one arm, as perhaps, or a chest piece, and you just go, everyone, chest.
Yeah.
And then they're down in like a fucking second. Like, it's not like, all right, if there's armor levels dropped apparently. No, it hasn't. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But on like a 10-year plan, are they fucking serious? On top of that, though, with the people that have bounced out, makes sense. If the game isn't in full development anymore, they don't need all these extra people. They can go off and use their, I imagine, high skills in something like Dragon Age. Like right now, it's probably going to be pushed to whatever their like I don't know live services team is.
Well, the two
Which
people
means
that
they
left
just, like,
were the executive producer and the lead producer. The game is produced.
Yeah.
You know, now it's got to be supported, but the game is out. It's finished.
Yeah.
Quote
So like
unquote.
they'll leave it with the live services team, presumably what they're called, and they'll be the ones that chip away at the DLCs and all the extra tweaks and stuff, and maybe they'll come back at some point and be like, oh, well, even then, like I don't think they fucking care. So it's these overarching dudes are no longer needed.
Yeah, correct.
So I don't think it's a show that Anthem is poo. I think everything else around Anthem is showing that it's poo.
Yes.
Like 2 people leaving isn't a sign.
What you
Yes.
mean, I get what you mean. Number 4 doesn't really have anything to do with PlayStation, but however, Psyonix really got their start through being launched on PS Plus. I thought it'd be worth noting.
Yeah, true. None turned down.
Fortnite creator Epic Games has announced that it has acquired Psyonix, the studio behind Rocket League. Psyonix revealed the news on the blog that promises that this will only bring about positive changes for Rocket League and its community. According to Psyonix, Rocket League always has been and always will be a community-driven game. Driven.
Hey.
And now that we have joined forces with Epic, we'll be able to serve our community in even bigger and better ways. As for these changes in the short term, Psyonix claims nothing will change at all in the future. It plans to bring Rocket League to the Epic Games Store and will grow the game in ways it couldn't do before. The announcement also goes into detail how this will be great for the Rocket League esports ecosystem, as it, quote, significantly increases its potential reach and resources, and that the team at Psyonix will stay the same, but will have the power and experience of Epic Games to help support it. So, if you go back a couple decades, the guys at Psyonix worked closely with Epic on Unreal Tournament and stuff like that. So they've always had a kind of, you know, they've known each other pretty well for all these years. I think it's probably got something to do with, because Rocket League is like a $20 purchase and you can buy some keys to open your crates. I think Epic will be hosting their servers for them, so Psyonix don't have to have that cost involved anymore. That's just a theory. And then of course it may or may not leave Steam in the future, which is, I really enjoy reading those comments.
Yeah, I love reading all that
it's
shit.
It's just so
It's delicious.
Mate, I could salt my casseroles for a week through reading one comment section. Speaking of, I said casserole because I've got one slow cooking at the moment. Sausage casserole. Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. See, this is fascinating for me, and it also makes total sense. So, like Psyonix, exceptional, like they're exceptional little independent studio. On top of that, though, their big hunk of their money has been and gone. Like, almost everyone has Rocket League now. Their sales would still be coming through, but I guarantee you they are less. So if they intend to do any more big things that they require a lot of capital, it makes total sense. So by connecting with Epic Games, they are guaranteed a minimum base money.
Yeah.
There is a guaranteed investment from Epic Games into them.
Yeah.
So regardless of how their sales are doing or what advertising they are doing, like, there is still a baseline of dollars coming through. So where let's use the scale of like 1 to 100, right? So even if they sell 10% of their 10% of their total income was just sales. Now there's an extra 70, 80% to help bump that in.
And like I said, whether Epic maybe also just takes the cost of the servers over for them, or moves them to the Epic servers.
Well, that's what I mean. Even if that base income
they're
just
not maybe
like
not giving them money, but they're also saving them a fair bit.
Yeah, even if it's like, hey, we're going to give you X amount of dollars, you do whatever you want with it. Like, well, we're going to offload some of our server costs. We're going to bring them into here, bring them into there, and sort of stuff. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it as a negative. I think it's totally a good thing. I'm sure there are probably some negative concerns around it, but I think it's less of a concern than people think.
Epic are probably like, hey, you have a battle pass now, so do we. Come on board. Battle pass bros.
Plus the whole like Epic's game store shit is just still delicious.
Yeah, well, I don't play on PC, so I don't give a stuff about
I don't have time for that.
Well, you should care because it's anti-consumerism. Fuck off. PS Plus games for May.
It's absolute capitalism at its finest.
PS Plus games for May 2019. You get Overcooked 1 and What Remains of Edith Finch.
That's it.
Top selling games for us.
That's so ball. Like, Overcooked.
No, they're good games.
They're good games.
They're good games, and I actually do want to play What Remains of Edith Finch
Same.
because I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. So they're good games, but fuck, where's the value anymore? Where's it gone? It's gone. We take all these away, and what do you get instead? 2 indie games. Come on, Sony.
Well, look at. It's like I understand like the idea is like people use like PS Plus gives us a lot more background things than we notice, right? But saying that though, the biggest visual thing about PS Plus is these quote unquote free games.
So does Xbox Live. It has all that background stuff.
Oh no.
But you're also
the point I'm getting at is the thing that we're directly seeing fucking sucks.
Yes.
Like if it was like get all this background shit and here are some good to great games, like sweet. Or even if they just fill it with numbers, they're like, here's 2 average games and a couple of extras.
Everyone's thinking, oh, maybe they'll chuck in a VR title every month, or
especially now that they've confirmed the VR is backwards compatible with the with what will be PS5. Like, it'll work. Why the fuck
why not something like Killzone Shadowfall?
Yeah.
An old first-party game.
There's no licensing there because they own that shit.
Get the multiplayer scene in that game happening again, because the multiplayer was pretty damn good. Because they don't have a first exclusive shooter. Killzone Shadowfall, early Infamous, Second Son. Maybe earlier first-party titles.
Like, it's the same as you. Don't get me wrong. Overcooked is amazing, and I love Overcooked endlessly. But that's really abysmal.
Yes. I can't say much more about it. We've said it since March when they turned off.
They took it away, and like since then they've delivered nothing of an impressive note, and it's a real shame. Like,
I'm not saying the games they're giving are bad. They're not, but they're just not.
It doesn't seem like that. Like the idea of here in Australia, it's about like $70 a year.
More.
If you or at least $70. I forget what it was. I think it's like 79? 69. Either way, it's like $70 to $80 a year. So that's equivalent of a game. And granted, we're getting, X amount of games a year because of it. But Overcooked 2, I think it's like $20 at best.
This is Overcooked 1, not 2.
Sorry, I mean Overcooked 1, like $20 at best. Edith Finch, I'm pretty sure I've seen for like $11.
Yeah. You look at dollar value when they had the PS3 and the PS4 and the Vita games, you're looking at maybe $100.
$100-something, yeah.
And now we've dropped down to about 30. Top selling games for last week, starting at number 10, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, number 9, Star Wars Battlefront 2, number 8, Division 2, number 7, Red Dead Redemption 2, number 6, World War Z, number 5, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, number 4, Fallout 76, number 3, Spider-Man, number 2, Mortal Kombat 11, number 1, Days Gone.
Oh, I did That's
twice. Days Gone.
Yeah. Makes sense. Once again, I still truly think there's like 18 copies of games sold. Like, how many copies of Battlefront? Oh, like 12.
Nah. You're wrong.
I'm totally wrong.
It's in the thousands this list gets pulled from. I guarantee.
But the discrepancy, the point I'm getting, the discrepancy of 1 and 2 between 8 and 9 would be tens of thousands.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like Days Gone and Mortal Kombat 11, I guarantee you they've sold like tens of thousands of copies. And I imagine the last 3 you've probably sold within the thousands.
Yeah. That's not 5.
Yeah, I know.
And
fuck you and your semantics.
Just a quick bits. Rage 2 has gone gold.
Woo!
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night will finally be released in June. And also we will get an official look at the next Call of Duty by the end of June.
Yeah. So first off, Rage 2, awesome.
I'm excited.
I reached out like 2 days ago. Yeah. So I reached out to Bethesda Australia.
Hey,
like,
we didn't completely shit on Fallout 76.
Yeah,
maybe hook us up.
I should have done that too. We're like, hey, we enjoyed 76. Help brother up. But yeah, so that hopefully we can jump on that. Who knows when? We'll see how it goes. Bloodstained, yeah, cool. Call of Duty, and by end of June, E3 man, Xbox stage, you'll hear it.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that.
Do you still think it's likely to be Modern Warfare 4?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? It's Infinity Ward's turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last year was Treyarch.
Yeah.
And the year before that was Sledgehammer.
Yeah, then yes.
So it is Infinity. Yeah, it's a given.
Yeah.
It's a given.
Like, it'd be interesting to go, because like with, World War 2, no, World War 1, what was last year's one? And Blackout. Oh, no, Blackout was very futuristic. Black Ops 4. Whatever
Was
the
it?
last one was. It's futuristic. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. As long as it's not like in the distant future shit, I'm sick of done with that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm also done with the modern shit as well.
Yeah.
And the past shit.
If they do modern as in like 2012, you know, like now this.
Like Modern Warfare, you're
modern,
talking about.
But not, yeah, but like, you know how Black Ops Black Ops 1 and 2 were like the Vietnam War, apparently. The Vietnam War and like around like the Cold War. That was awesome. And they're like, guess what? 2084. Fuck. Like that jump in 3 was just stupid.
What? Black Ops 3?
Yeah, Black Ops 3 went to like super future. Now keep that shit now.
Maybe Modern Warfare 4 will be about gun control in America. Keep it current.
No way. There's no way they'd do that.
No, they won't.
It's Port Arthur massive.
Keep politics out of my games. That's it for the news, Ryan. As we have a chat to the players about review scores. What's good?
Now we've talked about review scores in the past, and we talked about where they stand in terms of overall things. But here specifically,
what did you take it down? Did you save the article that you had up?
I can pull it up. It's just a push square if you want to find it.
Okay.
I forgot where I was going. Yes, I remember now. So we've talked about game scores at length in the past, but this time we want to get a little bit specific. So right now, the topic of conversation is around Days Gone. Now, Days Gone has been given, it's sitting about 70, early 70s on Metacritic currently. A lot of places were giving it a good 7 out of 10. So, the discussion around that was 7 out of 10, that is a dumpster fire of a game. I don't want to buy it. Meow, meow, meow.
You just accurately represented the entire gaming community.
That's what I was hoping to do. So
Except for our great listeners.
We want to have a discussion around 7 out of 10 and why 7 out of 10 isn't a bad game. It's a fucking good game, bro. Josh?
I concur.
Thank you very much. And that
that PlayStation conversation. No, but it's just perception, and I think it's primarily because when you go to Metacritic and look at these scores, a 72, which Days Gone is, has a yellow box around it, whereas 8 and above has a green box. Now, green is obviously better than yellow. So when you see that yellow, you think,
warning.
Bad game. Warning.
I agree. But no, like
I didn't mean it.
No, it makes total sense. It's all better. It's like, it's a visual thing, right? Like, even this isn't one of the examples that I had to fight. At my old job, I used to work in a call center, and they had a thing called NPS, which is the idea that customers would give you a survey, and they would rate your company out of 10. As per NPS, anything between 1 to 7 was bad, 7 and 8 was neutral, and 9 and 10 were great.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, a fucking 7's fine. So we weren't allowed to we had to get 9s and 10s.
That's dumb.
And
why have the other 8 numbers?
Yeah,
why
what
not
is
just
the
have
point?
Why not just have yes or no?
Yeah, like what is the actual point of 1 to 7? It negates the whole point of a 10-point scale. It makes all those numbers redundant. So, because how it should be, if you provided the average amount, like if this game is fine, it works and it's fine, that's a fucking 5. Period. Like that is dead average. And now, for any reason, if the game was straight up broken and didn't work, then you head down.
Exactly. The 5 is the average. 5 is the middle of the road.
Yeah.
5 is it works. Then you go up to 10 and it's like, how much sauce does it have? How much better does it get? And then you go down and it's like, well, this is poo. 5 is the middle of the road. And speaking on the colours, Days Gone at 72 with the yellow is the same colour as Metal Gear Survive.
With a
60.
Yeah. Days Gone is staggeringly better than Metal Gear Solid Survive.
I just think that we, as a people, put too much value on these review scores.
Well, because I think this is a discussion we've had before. Like, it simplifies the whole idea.
Instead of looking at, is this game for me? What genre is it? Who's in it? Does it have good sound design? Does it look appealing? Is it fun gameplay? All that stuff. It's like, just give me a number and I'll decide if I'm going to play it or not. And that's not really how things should be done. I mean, if I did that all through my life, there's plenty of good games I would never have touched because they're not very good, due to the ratings and all that. But I've kind of just, especially the last probably year and a half, 2 years, it's really just, I'm just going to form my own opinion. And I don't watch I've said it before, I don't watch all the trailers for a game that comes out and read the previews and watch the reviews when the embargo drops. I don't do any of that for a game that I want. Because I just want to play it and go, I know from the first trailer, do I want to play this or not? Generally. Like the Outer Worlds. Like, saw the trailer, I'm like, that's for me. I don't need to read reviews, previews about the game length and, how the combat actually works and all that. That game looks like one I want to play. And review scores, be damned. And yeah, I just think we just value the numbers too much. And I think especially just having so many numbers that are just redundant now. Like you said with your performance reviews, 1 to 7 is pointless. Because as far at a glance, the general consensus is 1 to 7 is all the same. A 1 out of 10 game is the same as a 6 out of 10 game. Because it's not a 9 out of 10. If it's not an 8.5, 9 out of 10, it's not worth playing. Well, that's just not how the scale works.
I think a big part of that comes down to the lack of nuance. I've mentioned this before. Lack of nuance within culture, within gaming culture, within movie culture, whatever. The problem is, I think we are all busy. We are all finite amount of time. We all have a finite amount of funds. So people want to know that what they've decided to put their dollars in or anything like that is sort of, they want to make sure they're getting their money, their value for their money, whatever, and they want to do it. And they want to find that out the quickest way possible with the least amount of effort.
I understand that.
That part I understand. However, the issue with that is it's just shit. It doesn't work. Like, these people that stand here and claim they don't have enough time to play shitty games instead spend fucking hours on their day bitching on the internet.
So what you're saying is we have too much internet freedom. Is that it, Ryan?
I think that's part of it. I think we need to be...
I think we need
oppression
to vote out net neutrality.
Yeah, we need oppression in its truest sense of the word. No.
China's got this shit figured out. Everything over there is
it's the same thing as like when we've used this example before too with like Batman versus Superman. The debate was, this movie sucks. This movie's brilliant. Nope. The movie was dead set in the middle. People don't know how to argue, because apparently that's all everyone does now. People don't know how to argue or how to stand on
the line.
Fine.
Fine is fine.
Yeah.
Fine is okay. If we didn't have fine, we wouldn't have brilliant, because the fine games haven't set that line.
Yeah. So if you walk in and you go, that's fine, and you can't argue fine. Like, well, so people go, it must be shit. I don't know how to feel about it. It must be shit. Like, I'm not happy about it. I'm not stoked about it. I'm not praising. I'm like,
exactly how we were when we walked out of BVS.
Yeah.
We all walked out in silence. And I remember the first thing I said is, I don't know how I feel about that movie.
Yeah. I'm like, it was
I didn't immediately go,
fine.
that was fucking bullshit.
Unlike Suicide Squad, we walked out and went, that was bad.
That was bad.
All of that was bad.
Objectively. It was like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah. And then I walked out of Justice League and I was like, that was all right. Is it perfect?
Middle of the road.
No. Was it better than BVS? Yep. Justice League, good 7 out of 10. BVS, good 5 out of 10.
Extended
Suicide
version,
Squad,
maybe 6.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree for the most part. It's just that these numbers mean nothing, really. They mean nothing, because you and I have played many similar games in the past where I've been like, this is like a 10 out of 10. I fucking love
Like
this
Persona
game.
5, I thought it was fine.
Persona 5, exactly. Dead Cells. Like games that I've put so many hours into, I'm like, these are like defining games of the generation for me, and you're like, meh. Lee.
And I think you've touched on something there that kind of really like settles the point, especially why people get all uppity about it on the internet, is we attach so much of ourselves to those scores. Like, as an example, like say there are people that believe that who's Uncharted, right? Everyone in their heart of hearts is like, Uncharted is a 9.5. The game is, in my opinion, it's a 9.5. But then anybody comes out, it goes, it's about an 8.
I say it's about 8.
But I mean, like, for them, because like they've put their identity, their stance. So by you going, nah, it's an 8. To most people who are always on the attack, it's like, no, you just attacked my opinion because you don't believe it matches. And hence
I'm
the
outraged.
bickering. Hence the outrage. And I think that's where it comes from now. I think because people hold this arbitrary number as a point of their opinion.
Yeah, but then there's also the people that latch onto it without playing it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you all the people saying Days Gone is a bad game, not all of them have even played it. They've
Or even
just
look about it, yeah.
seen the 72 on Metacritic and gone, well, that's not a 95.
See, I think there's the other difference there as well is we have like we come at it from a different place. Like there are many people that want to follow the game's the game's conversation, and in our spot, even within our own little space, our own little community, we kind of lead that conversation. So we don't really follow many other people's stuff. I think that gives us a different perspective for people that might come in and. Like if you're an avid follower of Kind of Funny as an example, and we've seen this in that Kind of Funny community, like people that just mirror whatever Greg Miller says, because they want to feel part of that. Like they don't have their own little space. They're coming to somebody else's. And a lot of people that are in our community have all been other places, so they've all got their own and they're coming in. Like a good hunk of the people that we know are reviewers themselves, or they've been in the gaming space long enough to like not require the acceptance of a greater community because like either they've had their own or they don't give a fuck.
I like the I don't give a fuck camp.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So like I'm like these people won't be like when mirror exactly what we said because they all have their own voice.
But we don't score any games, and that was an active decision we made. I think when we started this.
FTP, yeah.
It's just, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the good stuff and the bad stuff, and then say, do you think it's worth checking out? Yes, check it out.
Yeah.
Or no. It's,
And I think
me saying yes, check it out, that could be for you, like in your opinion, that could be a 5 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. I still might be like, yeah, check it out. You know what I mean?
And then adding to that, like when it's more personalized, as it's you or I discussing a game, like people that watch for the players or watch the pop cultures or join with our community, like they know us. They know our voices. They know what we say. They know our opinions. So they've heard me in the past go looter shooters are poo, and then multiplayer games aren't my thing.
When you say
So then when I come in,
my time in Porsche is a 10 out of 10.
When I come in here and I go, the Division 2's fucking awesome. You know they're like, oh, maybe there's something there. Because that's not my game. By me coming out here and going, that's not my game, I love this game, then you know, like, okay, there is something here of note that breaks what the conventions of someone, you know, like someone's genre of games.
Well, same as me in Stardew Valley.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, Stardew Valley is the shit because I love farming games. And you go, yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I hate farming games. Stardew Valley is the tits. I've played it more than Ryan.
You know what I mean? And like that says something about Stardew Valley. And this is the other issue when you go with those big sites like your IGNs, your GameSpots, whatever. There's like tens of reviewers a year. Like it's never consistently a tone. And I think that like one voice. I think that's why people like YouTube because if you go to Angry Joe, you get Angry Joe. You go to here, you get us. Like if you go to, you know, our friends over at like Explosion Network, if you go to like Dash Culture, if you go to like the House of Mario, like all these people, you go there and you know it's Drew, it's Buddy, it's Dash, you know, it's Dylan, it's Ashley, like you know who those voices are.
Like, you know, I think even Angry Joe said it himself, like if I say a fighting game is really fucking good, don't take my word for it because I fucking love fighting games.
Yeah, I think he says that in his Dragon Ball Z review.
Yeah,
like Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Yeah. He's like he went for nitty and gritty and praised it, and he's like the average person won't know half this shit or notice half this shit.
Yeah, but that's just it. You get to know what they like, what they don't like, and when they say they like something that they don't normally play, you go, well, that must be pretty good. And when they say something shit in a genre that they love, you think, well, that must be pretty shit because this person loves this genre.
And like I also understand people's need to coming back to the 7 out of 10. Like people don't want a bleh or a bland experience, right? Or just an experience. They want something to blow them fucking away. Because like once again, they have a finite amount of money and we are so spoilt for entertainment right now that like they like only want the best of the best.
The thing is, if you're blown away with every single game you play, you stop being blown away anymore. You need the experiences so the next time you do play something that is genuinely a 10 out of 10, you kind of go, wow.
Yeah.
The last game I played was nothing like this. Didn't give me these feelings. Whereas if every game you ever play is giving you that God of War feeling, it's going to lose the luster and you're not going to get that feeling anymore. You need to eat a cheeseburger from Macca's every now and then. So when you go to the pub and have the triple steak burger, you go, this is the shit.
Where's this triple steak burger? That sounds brilliant.
You know what I mean? You have burgers from Macca's, but when you go out and you get a real burger from a real restaurant, you go, oh,
like this is what it's meant to be.
And that's not saying Macca's burgers are bad, because I'll eat a double quarter pounder a day if I had the chance. But you've got to have that baseline to judge everything else off. And a 7 out of 10 is a good baseline. It's above average. It's not brilliant. It's above average.
And isn't that emotionally exhausting, either loving or hating everything?
I'd imagine so.
That sounds exhausting to me.
I just stayed hating everything.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Not really.
No, we're both there. We're both very cynical at this point.
I'm very cynical, but I hate seeing just the internet stuff these days.
Yeah.
It just bugs me. It just really gets under my skin to the point where like I like sit down, open Reddit.
See,
Days Gone's a hot mess. Guess I'm going to bed.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, how are you finding like Reddit? Because Facebook and Twitter just seem to be regurgitating the same shit.
No, Reddit's fine. There's r/gaming and there's r/games. Gaming is just that's the cesspool. In my opinion, r/gaming is the cesspool of just regurgitated opinions and dead memes and rehash stuff. Whereas games is more heavily moderated for let's have a discussion.
Why is there a difference in the two? Like,
anyone can make a subreddit.
Oh, okay.
And anyone can join it. And you moderate. Think of it as a forum. Each subreddit is just a separate forum from the main page of Reddit. So gaming turns into I don't know which was first. Let's, for argument's sake,
I'm going to say gaming was first.
Let's say there's r/gaming. People are on it all the time. It's got 2 million people subscribed to it and 50,000 people online, all you can see. And everyone's like, someone that day went, I'm just tired of this kind of gaming discussion. Just, it's the internet on my forum. I'm going to make r/games and get moderators, and we're going to mold this community into how we want to talk about games, which is news articles, discussions. No. There's safe corners of Reddit you can go. You just got to get through it. Why are we talking about that?
I'm excited. I've always assumed that Reddit would just be the worst.
It's not. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It is really
Should I
brilliant.
get on Reddit?
Takes a while to get used to, but I think once you start like finding, you make an account, untick all the default subreddits you subscribe to, and then just as you think of something I really want to like talk about Vita. Go to the Vita subreddit and subscribe. And
I want to go to r/squared circle.
Squared Circle, WWE, all the wrestling ones you can have. And then
there's a lot of negativity there.
And then when you go to your feed, it's just everything from all those subreddits that you've subscribed to just in your feed. And then you can just, or you can go to the popular, which is just everything on Reddit.
And then find what you like.
In popular, yeah. A lot of mine are porn. There's good porn on Reddit. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Look, I'm sure it's fine. Don't show me your porns.
No, you can. These are all my subreddits, and I'm showing
what have you got? You've got
Big Titty Goth GF.
Big Titty, yep, Big Titty Goth. I like that
Bigger
one.
than you
Classic
thought.
WoW makes sense. Delusional artists.
Just as an example, it's just artists who think they're very good and set ridiculous prices.
Oh, that's my favorite thing in the world. I got to see this. Oh, I love questionable art.
Yeah. But then you go into the comments of something and someone will link a different subreddit and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. And yeah. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. What were we talking about?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 is decent. You should still play those.
So, I did reach out to the community.
As you do.
As you do. And we've got some answers here. Kyle, that's old Chrissy Biscuit, has jumped down and he says, scrap review scores altogether.
Oof.
Love you, Kyle. As a reviewer myself, which he has been for quite a number of years, you notice nobody reads the actual written review. They skip right to the score. It undermines the game, the work the team put into it, and also the reviewer, him/herself.
Didn't IGN do something similar a couple of years ago? Everyone would just scroll to the bottom to see the big red box.
So
Did they get rid of it? What did they do?
They got rid of the verdict. So it would see like the last paragraph would be the verdict, then the score. They removed the verdict. So you can't just get a summary of the entire thing. You can get the score now. Because they'll never...
Rather the other way around.
Yeah, they'll never eliminate the score.
Give me the verdict, fuck the
like
score.
I know people like Player 2, like Paul and that, they only have the verdict. They don't have the score. We just get a whole fucking conversation. And so on and so forth. My good friend Damien Holdies comes in, he says, scrap degenerate media! ! It's the age of the independent podcast for speaking the truth. What did you call us last week? The voice of reason.
Oh, yeah. The voice of reason in the gaming community.
And old speaking of Dash, he goes, it's simple. The scale's broken. We've discussed this like 20 times over now on Dash Culture, and with you included on the show, Betson, which is true. Almost below an 8 is considered crap now. It's terrible how bad the aggregate score has manifested. He is spot on. I did put it over here on the Twitter as well, and responded to Twitter.
At a glance, think of just looking at two games on two different sites. One does a scale out of 10, one does a scale out of 5. Right? You look at the out of 10 score, it's a 6.5 out of 10. And you go, ugh. You look at the 5 score and it's a 3.5 out of 5. You're like, oh. When they roughly...
That's a 6 out of 10.
About the same.
You times by 2. 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's why when we did do scores, we were out of 5. And we only did half steps. None of this 6.8 or 7.3. Fuck that noise. Yeah. It's half at best. You know what I love about Young and the Wrestlers? We review on a 2 thumbs up basis. Or a 2 Kurt Angles, because he looks like a motherfucking thumb.
Oh, you just ruined him for me.
He does look like a thumb. You can't unsee it. So how we rank it is 2 Kurt Angles, 1 Kurt Angle, or half, we're half angles. And like that makes it's great.
You never do it.
You can. It's either there's no downs. It's either 0, half, 1, 1.5, 2. That's it.
How do you do the 1.5?
So it's a Kurt Angle in the bar. But like, and that makes it so much easier to score. It's just like, it's simple. And like, what's that other channel that you've been watching recently? ACG?
Oh, yeah. I'm not like I've watched him for years.
Yeah, but you've mentioned him a lot more recently.
Buy, wait for sale.
Yeah.
Or never touch.
And it's such a simple setup. Like, there's no scores. It's just dead simple. And I love that so much more. Like, I know it might not be as simple as a yes/no always. Like, a yes/no maybe is always.
But
probably
he
the best way
explains
to
the
go
verdict
about
as
it.
well. You got to wait for sale because, or buy it now, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always caveats.
And that's the real downside. Like, I understand why they do the big 100-point scale, it's so you can get those. They believe that it will get those minor details out of the way. Because if you bring it down to 3 scores, it's almost just as bad.
Yeah, but what's a 6.8 to a 6.9?
Also true.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
6.9 to 7.1?
Is it better? I assume it's better.
Just call it a 7.
Let us know what you think of the 7 out of 10. Because personally, it's fucking fine, man. It's fine. Just play what you want to play. I understand the hesitance, but just fucking play what you want to play.
I dream about being a 7 out of 10.
Oh,
so maybe
man.
think about that.
Yeah, coming from a solid 4, fuck, I'd love for a 7.
I'll give you a 4.2.
Ooh.
The 0.2 is that one chin hair.
Yeah, the point, is you can grow a bigger beard than me. But then it evens out because... But you look good in a beanie. I look horrible in a beanie.
Why?
My head's too big.
Get a bigger beanie.
Yeah, but it's...
Then you might be a 5. It's these little things, man. The little things.
Oh, I like it.
You added in an FOV slider. There's an extra point on your score. Oh, you fit a beanie on your head. There's another point.
Oh, I want to be a 5 now. But
See, I dream of being a 7. He dreams of being a 5. If we could both just be as good as Days Gone, we'd be happy men.
yeah, it's true. Or we could just mush ourselves together and become a good quality 6. Yeah, I'm bringing you down, but you're bringing me up. So that works out. It's nice for me. Averages, not always good.
I'm happy with my 6.5.
Yeah, let us know what you think. And with a 7 out of 10 is the dumpster fire that the internet claims it to be. Spoilers, the answer is not. Speaking of a bunch of games that are probably average or if not good at all, it's now time to go into the drop. We tell you what games are coming out this week in a section called Coming to the Players.
New PlayStation games from May 7, 2019. Pretty short list today. Dolings Arcade, PS4 Digital. For the King in the North, PS4 Digital. The in the North, isn't there?
Ah, it should be there.
Frayne, Dragon's Odyssey, PS4, PS Vita, Digital Cross-Buy. Lost Artifact, Soulstone, PS4 Digital. Lovecraft's Untold Stories, PS4 Digital. My Big Sister, PS4, PS Vita, Digital Cross-Buy. Party Arcade, PS4 Digital. Puyo Champions, PS4 Digital. Reverse Crawl, PS4 Digital. Shakedown Hawaii, PS4, PS Vita, Digital Cross-Buy.
That's very similar, like Radio City Rampage and stuff.
Is it?
Well, that same top-down sort of crazy shooting.
It's like,
bloody
yeah.
explosions.
There's, yeah.
Look, I bet you there's some quality 7 out of 10s. Bunch of good games.
There is a Golden Week sale on Japanese-inspired titles right now, though.
It's on the Australian. That's on the American store.
We have an American listener, I'm sure.
Yeah, go check out the Jap. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. There are some the ones in the European store. I think it's called Best of Japan.
Yeah.
It's not called Golden Week. I think like Resident Evil's on there and it's a bit cheap.
No, I
Resident
think
Evil
it's
2.
Golden Week in Japan. Hence the sale being called the Best of Japan. That's why it says Golden Week sale, because it's Golden Week.
What's Golden Week?
A very bright yellow week.
Nice.
Very valuable, so I hear.
Allegedly.
Follow the yellow brick road. To the PlayStation Store. That PlayStation conversation happened on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/PopCulturists. Head over there, check out the tiers, might be something there that interests you.
If you do want to support us on Patreon, you can watch us record the show live. And we do it on Saturday or Sunday. I normally give you a good 4 minutes notice. But if you, you can also watch us record. Yeah, 7 out of 10. You can also watch us record The Young and the Wrestlers on a Thursday if you do join that. If you want to show the love of pop culture on your body, at popculturist.com/shop. You can get assorted shit with our logos on it. We ask for Twitch at twitch.tv/the PopCulturists. And while you're over there on your podcast services giving us, star reviews, 7 out of 10. As well as, just giving us some love on your whatever podcast platform of your choice. Please go check out The Young and the Wrestlers.
Ratings mean nothing. Please give us good reviews on
Because
iTunes.
it helps more people listen to our shit. And we made the new and noteworthy again this week.
I didn't.
Oh, we didn't. Young and the Wrestlers did.
You did. You and
I don't
Jen.
fucking know how that works. We literally get tens of listeners. Fucking tens of listeners.
I think she's ready to be inaugurated into the PopC team.
I think
at
she
this
is.
point.
I think Jeremy has to be at this point, right?
Maybe she should be on FTP, and we might actually get into the new and noteworthy.
It's a woman. You think that's what it is?
That's not what I'm saying. Hey, you're putting it.
No.
Yeah, it's probably
I'm
it.
not. I'm not claiming. Because I think you're right. There's too much dick in FTP.
One way to find out.
That's it. There's plenty of boobs. Not enough of the other. I'm going to end it here.
I'll give him a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And that was for the players. There is a lot of dick in this room, though.
A solid 7 to 10 inches.
For the players, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast is fan-supported at patreon.com/thepopculturists. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders, Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers, Damien Holdies, Hakim NPC, Lee Wintershoven, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.